Well, hello, Shenzhen, China. What a fantastic opportunity today to come talk to you about innovation and transformation in this highly networked digital age in higher education in particular, and the future and where we're all going. I'm going to talk about this highly cool topic with you from the standpoint of 28 learning technologies that are transforming our lives so you can be cool as well. So let's try and take a look at some of these different ways that learning is changing in front of our eyes, so that we can exist, not just exist, but participate to the full extent possible in this digital age in front of us today. Thanks for inviting me. At the end, I might actually come in via Skype from my hotel room in Madrid, Spain, very, very, very early in the morning. We'll see if that works. For now, thanks again for inviting me. Hi, I'm Kurt Bonk from Indiana University, and I'm coming in to talk about how learning is changing MOOCs, the open world, and beyond. I gave a MOOC a few years ago for Blackboard, and I had to get in MOOCing stance to do a MOOC. It was not easy to teach 4,000 people online, but today we can be teaching anyone, anywhere around the world. You can learn languages online. Last week, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook was speaking in Chinese at Tsinghua University. But Live Mocha, Chinese Pod, Can Talk, language learning online is alive and well. So many forms of learning thanks to people like Charles Vest on the left from MIT, who brought us open courseware and all classes from MIT free on the web, and Charles Wiedemeyer from Wisconsin, who helped create the OpenU in the UK. His book, Learning at the Back Door, is the best book you can buy for $1. Raise your hands if learning technology has transformed your life like it has mine. It definitely has changed all of our lives today. Steve Jobs tried to get learning technology to change our lives, whether it was Apple computers, Macintosh, iPhone, iPad. We can talk old technologies like these, old floppy disks that I learned basic programming on, or zip disks I did my dissertation on, or tapes that I learned from books on. That computer there was my first computer that I ever owned, a mobile computer. That thing was heavy. Fast forward 25 years, and today times have changed. We can learn anything today from anyone else at any time. Prehistoric Googling was going through the card catalog in the library. Today, we've got our mobile technologies wrapped around us. I've got my mobile phone. Learning is changing in 28 ways. I'm going to walk you through those 28 ways. Just the fact that learning is more technology based. Whether we have an iPhone or a LG or Samsung phone, whatever it is, learning is changing because of new technologies. But pedagogy is important too. And so I have a couple of books related to how to teach with these new and emerging technologies. 100 ways on how to teach online. Some of you may have seen these books. Silly books, don't buy it. We also have, smart watches, James Bonk watches, or mobile phones. We can learn from MOOCs, massive classes. Learning's more mobile today. Almost everyone has a mobile phone, right? Raise your hands if you have a mobile phone. Who remembers where you were on 9/11? Raise your hands. Who remembers where you were on 4/11? Raise your hands. Nobody probably remembers the most important day of your life, because on April 4th, 2001, Charles Vest here said, let's put MIT contents free to the world. And now it's not just MIT contents, but they're being translated to Chinese through the Core project in China and other projects. They're being translated to Portuguese and French and Spanish. And other universities around the world are contributing open courseware. And I'm studying why people use open courseware, what challenges they have, because learning's become more open. My book, The World is Open, has been translated by people at South China Normal and published by East China Normal in Chinese. This older gentleman at 80 years old got his degree last year online. The woman in the wheelchair in Peru got her degrees online. The gentleman on the bottom right from Tibet, a yak herder, got his courses online from Open Yale. Learning's more informal. We're learning informally by interacting with people wherever we happen to be, using online study groups, going to Wikipedia. going to YouTube or other technologies online. Learning is more flipped, where we have a class starting in an online format. We watch a video from Salman Khan of the Khan Academy, and then we have discussions in class afterwards. We flip when instruction happens. Instruction happens before class. Learning is more video-based. We can watch a video, a performance video, and reflect on it. Videos on how to cook for your husband or wife. Videos on all sorts of topics are available today, free to the world. For Ebola training, for you name it, the topic is there. How to shoot a bow and arrow, how to interview for a job. And we all have these expert video walls to interact with you and learn from. At Indiana University here, we have IQ walls, gigantic, huge walls. And in the future, you'll walk into grocery stores and museums and schools and interact with experts from around the world and even touch them. Learning is more touch-based. And we can interact through a touch capacity today in ways we couldn't before and get information. And we'll be gesturing computers. Laptops and tablets are going to come with 3D vision. So they'll be able to see you with the 3D vision glasses, okay? And interact with you in new ways. Even better than that is learning is going to be competency-based, so that you're learning what you already know, things that are already in your head, things that you've learned out there, you can get tested on. And you don't have to spend millions and millions of dollars, You can learn and get credit for what you know. Get a test and get credit for it. Learning is more collaborative. This student from Beijing Normal, Carrie Gong, she interacted with my students from Shanghai and Uzbekistan and MIT and Cyprus using Google Hangouts. We use Google Hangouts and Skype and QQ, or all sorts of technologies for collaboration online. Learning is more modifiable. We can move the chairs around that we have in front of us. I can take this chair and move it. I can write on the walls. You can write on the walls. We can change the learning spaces today. E-learning is forcing us to think about face-to-face learning and how it's changing. And it's more comfortable, like this comfy chair that I'm in. I can spin around and do all sorts of things here. You're in a comfy auditorium probably, or theater hall. These students in Adelaide, Australia, got to design their comfortable learning space. See, my friend Elliot Macy said learning can happen anywhere. We're in the learning century today. It's not the information age, really, or the industrial age anymore. We're in the learning age. The 21st century is just that. With the iBeacon, you can get access to the web wherever you are. You can get access on your mobile. You can access this gentleman on his car. We're going to have bendable text soon, flexible text. And we can learn instantaneously with our glasses. Google Glass will enable us to give information to people who are at an accident scene on how to handle it. Nurses and doctors don't have to be transported in. We can also learn on demand, just in time, just enough stuff with tools like Coursemos. Technology like Coursemos lets us film short snippets. I can go to my video camera here and film me today, right now, and send it to any of you. Learning is more on demand, when we want it, and more personal. I can take one of my books, like this Special Passage Through E-Learning in Asia, or my Handbook of Blended Learning, which some of you have interviewed me on in China, and I can highlight the virtual version. I can note take on it and share my notes and have study groups. And I can share with people around the world, because learning is more global. People in refugee camps today in Kenya are learning from MOOCs. My students write wikibooks. Books online with students from Open U of Malaysia, Beijing Normal, Kyunghee University in Korea, Warwick University in the UK, University of Jyväskylä in Finland. Global education, sharing, collaborating, that's where it's at. If you want to plan for the future, plan for global collaboration and synchronous touch. My friend Edgar in Puerto Rico just did a synchronous webinar to Dubai using Adobe Connect. We can use QQ, we can use Google Hangouts and all sorts of technologies for this synchronous session. Students can feel you, they can touch you, they know you're there and care about them. And we can learn languages one-to-one, whether we're learning Portuguese or Spanish or Chinese. We can have web conferencing using tools like Jabber and iMeet and other technologies. Learning is also, number 20, learning is more online. And my dean here, Gerardo Gonzalez, is happy. He's smiling. He's happy. See him smiling there? I'm happy too, because our enrollments are going up. I have job security. Look at online is growing by 20% per year in the United States. Face-to-face is growing by 1%. No wonder my dean is happy, moving our master's degree, our EDD in instructional technology online. You can take courses from China. Starbucks, no longer just about coffee. Their employees get 2 years of free education online, available just for them. From Arizona State, learning's more self-directed, where grandmothers come in from the UK, retired teachers mentoring kids in schools in India who are self-directing their learning process. We are all self-directed learners today with informal tools available all over the world, whether it's TED Talks or TED Ed or something else. Learning's more social with Facebook having Facebook Rooms app. We can form discussion groups. There's more communal, whether you're in Egypt or India or Iran or Ukraine, Germany, whether you're in Tanzania, Bolivia, Brazil, Madagascar, or China, Japan, wherever you happen to be, you can have study groups during MOOCs and meet other people studying. You can also have collaboration through games and competitions online in the gamification of learning. Why are people intrigued by games? What motivates them? In my new book, Adding Tech Variety, which is free online, we talk about that. Learning is more immersive with virtual worlds wrapped around us. We have a chance to engage and almost touch each other in these virtual worlds and virtual reality systems. And learning is more free, whether it's open access articles or books or classes. Learning is increasingly free for all of us today. In fact, my new book, Adding Tech Variety, is being translated to Chinese by Beijing Normal. If you go to techvariety.com, you can download the English version today. It has 10 principles of motivation, and if you want, soon in Chinese. I also have 27 videos on how to teach online off of my homepage. If you type in Bonk, vPortal, you can access all these videos on how to teach online. Learning is free. Let's make learning free. You can download, share, translate, remix. Learning's more massive. The Invasion of the MOOCs book is free. It just came out, in fact. You can learn from massive open online courses from the United States, from Europe, from Asia, all around the world. The best instructors in public health and nutrition and archaeology and accounting, my old degree, and you can visualize where they're coming from with free visualization tools. Whether they're courses in Ebola from Allison, who has a chapter in my upcoming book, or Google to Google, Googler to Googler employee training, or AT&T computer science courses from Georgia Tech University. There are many opportunities to learn online, and in my upcoming book, MOOCs and Open Education Around the World, with Dr. Tom Reeves, Tom Reynolds, and Mimi Lee, the four of us are editing a book with 30 chapters from the foremost experts around the world from Rutledge. This will come out in May or June. I'll be in Shanghai in June explaining the book. I'd be happy to talk to all of you about this open world. Learning's more web-based, the webification of learning. We've got kitty cats and squirrels learning online because the owner, the head of Google, says we want to get the entire web access by 2020, the whole world to access the web, and that's what's going to happen. So learning is changing in 28 ways. It's more open, more collaborative, more massive, more ubiquitous, more informal. All sorts of ways learning is changing in front of our eyes. It's blended, it's online. You name it, it's changing. Whether we're a pilot in the Air Force or we're a technician fixing planes, you can learn from online classes. But we're at a jumping off point today. If you could all stand up with me. And everyone at the count of three, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. All the women, 1, 2, 3, jump. And all the men, 1, 2, 3, jump. And everyone together, 1, 2, 3, jump. We're all jumping off to new places, new destinations, and this conference about transformation and innovation and education is a starting point. We have so many opportunities in front of us. In My World is Open book, now available in Chinese, you can learn about the open world. You can get access to chapter 1 and the ending off of my homepage. Charles Wiedemeyer says it doesn't matter if we're learning at the front door, the back door, when or how we're learning. What's important is what we learn. What we learn. I started with his picture. I'm ending with Charles Vest from MIT, who died last year, but before he died, he saw millions of people using MIT OpenCourseWare. I want to thank you again for bringing me in here today. You can take a look at trainingshare.com for the notes on this talk, publication share for my open access articles, World is Open for the free chapters from my book. What a wonderful opportunity to talk to all of you about 28 ways that learning's changing. Thanks again. Good luck at the conference. Write me emails. My email's there, kurt@worldisopen.com. Thanks again. So you can see there are dozens of ways that learning is changing today for all of us. And this notion of innovation and transformation in higher education in this highly digital age and thinking about the future, that's what it's all about. What a more exciting conference can anyone think of than the one you're at right now? Thanks again for inviting me in, and I will hopefully see you from my hotel room in Madrid, Spain for Q&A in a minute or two. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hasta la vista.